Hi Year 2, Miss Vaughan here to show you today's maths. So today in maths, we are looking at time. We've done this lots. It's always good to go over things to make sure that we remember them. But specifically today, we are looking at drawing the hands on the clock. So just to recap, there's two sides to a clock. There's the past side, which means it's gone past the 12, and there is the to side, which means it's coming up to the 12. So let's have a go at labeling the clock. Tell your grown up, where does the minute hand point if it is o'clock? Or do the action that we do at school. So it should be pointing straight to the 12. O'clock is when the minute hand is pointing at the 12. Then if we pretend that this clock is a yummy pizza, if we cut the pizza in half, we get to the number 6. So half past is when the minute hand is pointing at the 6. Then that means if we, again, refer to the clock as a pizza, Miss Vaughan likes pizza, and we divide the clock into quarters, you can see that we're pointing at 3 and it's pointing at 9. Now, this is the past side, so this must be quarter past, and this side must be quarter to the next hour. So that is basically an overview of what we are looking at today. So just to recap here, o'clock, half past, quarter to, and all of these times in between, we can find out by counting in fives. Okay, so if we count in fives from where the 12 would be, the 12 would be up here, we would go 5, 10, that would be 10 past. 15, 20, here would be 20 past. 25, here would be half past. 25 past, and 30 would be half past. But we don't say 30 past 12 or 30 past 2, we say half past 2. And then if you notice, if we go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, we'd say 35 and 40 here. But it doesn't say 35 to or 42. That's because we start at the 12 again and count backwards to figure out what it is to. So starting from the 12, let's count backwards. 5, 10. Here would be 10 to. 5, 10, 15, 20. Here is 22. So that's how you figure out all of the times that are in between. So just quickly recapping again, we have quarter, half, and then quarter to, because there is just this little part to go until it is full. So this is quarter to. So let's label these clocks then. So we have quarter past 2. Now I know if quarter of the clock is gone, it should be pointing at the number 3, the minute hand, which is the longer hand, should be pointing at the 3. And then it's quarter past 2, so the hour hand should have just gone past the 2. So the only one with the minute hand pointing at the 3 is here. 2 o'clock, easy peasy. O'clock, when the big hand, the minute hand is pointing at the 12, and it must be on the 2 if it is 2 o'clock. And then if it's half past 2, imagine our clock cut in half, it would have gone all the way around to the 6. So a minute hand pointing at the 6, and then the hour hand halfway between the 2 and the 3 for half past 2. And then that means the last one must be quarter to 3, because we've got quarter of the clock to go, and the hour hand is coming up to the 3 because it's quarter to 3. It's coming up to the 3. So for orange, we need to draw the hands onto the clock, and they're half past. So top tip for you, use 2 different coloured pencils and try to make them really sharp. Then it will be easier to see. So 1/2 is when the minute hand is pointing at the 6. Okay, that's our minute hand, is our long hand. And then if it's 12:30, the hour hand needs to be halfway between the 12 and the 1. Half past, it's past the 12 and coming up to the 1. And then if it's 11:30, the same again. It needs to be past the 11 and coming up to the 12, but halfway because it's half past. And then with the green, we have 1/4 and 1/4. So if you need to, you can put a P on one side of the clock and a T for 2 on the other side of the clock to give you a hand. So 1/4 is on the left-hand side of the clock. So I'm going to draw the minute hand pointing at the 9 because that will give me 1/4 of the clock left. And then if it's 3:45, it means the hour hand, the small hand, is just about to get to the 4 because it's coming up to the 4. 3:45, not quite on it, but coming up to it. And then the next one, if it's 1/4, again, I know the past side of the clock is on the right-hand side, past the 12. So I draw the minute hand pointing to the 3 because that's 1/4 of the clock gone, 1/4 of an hour is gone. And then it's past the 9. So I draw the hour hand ever so slightly going past the 9 because it's not quite half past, it's just 1/4 past, so it's just gone past the 9. Okay, and do make sure your minute hand and hour hand are considerably different in size. We need to be able to see which hand is which. And then as you move on to purple, we need to count from the 12 to label it. So 3. I'm going on the past side and I'm counting in 5s until I get to 25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So my minute hand is pointing at the 5. If I know 5 times 5 is 25, I wouldn't need to count. So the minute hand is on the 5 because it's 25 minutes past and it's 25 minutes past the 3. So not quite half past, but it has gone quite a way past the 3. So an hour hand that is past the 3, gone past the 3 and coming up to the 4. And then here we have a time to label. You don't have those jobs, so Miss Vaughan's going to skip that one. And then we're going to do this one. So the minute hand, 20 to 12. So 22. So my 2 side is this side of the clock. So I'm going to count from 12 backwards until I get to 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. That gets me to the 8. So I'm going to draw my minute hand pointing at the 8, nice long minute hand. And then I'm going to draw my hour hand, 20 to 12. So the minute, the hour hand is coming up to the 12. It's not on 12, it's coming up to the 12. So a short hour hand pointing towards the 12. So quick recap, draw the minute hand first in one colour with a nice sharp pencil. Draw the hour hand, it must be shorter and in a different colour if you can. Don't worry about the arrow, just draw a line. Normally on a clock, we get a little arrow like this. Don't worry about the arrow, just draw the lines. And if it's past the hour, make sure the hour hand is pointing past the hour and not pointing to it. So you see here 4:15, this isn't right because it's pointing directly at the 4. It should be just past the 4. So drawing the hands on a clock is tricky. Okay, be patient. You might need to rub it out and start again or print a couple of copies, but don't worry, keep working hard. Miss Vaughan's really proud of you.